Welcome back to CBS Saturday Morning. We begin this half hour with an effort to preserve and celebrate Black history. For decades, St. Emma was the nation's only military academy dedicated exclusively to educating young Black men. Thousands graduated in its 70-plus-year existence. While much of the school is gone, the lessons instilled in its graduates run deep. And that's what's fueling the drive to have history acknowledge this exceptional school. Debra Alfarone reports.
Down a gated road, past a forgotten cemetery, in a small Virginia community called Powhatan, sits a little-known trace of African-American history.
Even the Powhatan Historical Society, they don't have any history of St. Emma.
But St. Emma Military Academy existed, along with its sister school for young women, St. Francis de Sales. From 1895 until 1972, thousands of young African-American men and women attended school here, including Bob Walker and Eugene Butler.
And that's me.
There I am right there.
And
that's me right there.
Right back there.
And we didn't know each other at all.
Know each other. Yeah.
Why do you think people don't know so much about this place?
People didn't want this school in this community. You know, a lot of prejudice and racism was going on.
The site was built at a time when racial segregation forbade African-American children from attending schools with white children.
The education of African Americans at that time, okay, at a time that things were very, very difficult. A bunch of young men and a bunch of young ladies from St. Francis, they're getting groomed to be better, groomed to work in society.
Walker, class of 65, and Butler, class of 68, say the rigorous training and education they received in this secluded setting shaped their character forever.
Discipline.
Yes.
A structured lifestyle.
Yes. Humility.
Trust.
Yes.
You know, commitment.
Brothership.
Walker went on to join the Marines, and Butler became a physician's assistant. They largely credit this man, the commandant of the academy, Father Figaro, with shaping them into who they are today.
If things weren't going your way, he would say, tough, deal with it, and move on, because we're not here to stand still.
But it wasn't all work and no play. The two friends show me pictures from when they would attend socials with the young ladies of St. Francis.
If you got too close, they would come in between you and back you up. Yes, you back you up.
Some of the nuns carried rulers.
Yes, the measure.
So you got to have this much distance between you dancing.
It wasn't until years later they learned what this land once was.
We didn't know this was a plantation when we came here. I came from New York. I'm back in these woods. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was a plantation until we graduated.
A cemetery on the same land as their former classrooms is a final resting place for 130 enslaved people who built the institution that gave them so much.
We're standing on the shoulders of those people.
This was an area of enslavement that turned to empowerment.
Behind us is a beautiful Gothic Revival mansion that was built by a Confederate general basically in the 1840s.
The schools have been closed for 50 years. Walker and Butler are teaming up with the land's new owner and historian John Plaschel to keep the story of St. Emma and St. Francis, or what's left of it, alive.
When I came back up here years ago and I saw there was nothing here, it was devastating to me. Because I was wondering, why would they take these buildings and implode these buildings and leave the big house, which was the plantation mansion? And that was it. And the chapel and St. Peter Claver, Morale Hall, the agricultural buildings, the gymnasium that they had just built in 1972, I believe.
Oh, wow.
And just all gone.
Plaschel started leading tours of the academy nearly 2 years ago in an effort to raise funds for a commemorative marker or museum. And the school recently gained the attention of the Smithsonian.
We finally got our foot in the door.
Yeah, that's why we've worked so hard to get to this point. And we want to continue, no matter what it takes. It is a legacy, a history that needs to be told. A group of individuals that were educated here, that went on to be positive people in society. Absolutely.
Embodying a lesson they learned more than 50 years ago from their role model, never give up. For CBS Saturday Morning, Debra Alfarone, Powhatan, Virginia.
I had no idea. Never heard of
A
Saint.
lot of people did, and I love that line, from enslavement to empowerment.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Power of the
They are
education.
their ancestors' wildest dreams. Amazing.